Welcome back to Torn City Tim, the YouTube channel dedicated to helping new players to learn and love the game of Torn. In the previous video, I asked viewers to leave comments requesting a topic for the future video, and many of you responded in a positive way, so I thank you for that. In these comments, there was a recurring theme related to earning money in the game of Torn, particularly after flying, so that's something we're going to cover today. If you've watched many of my videos before, you know I'm a big fan of passive income, and I'm going to talk a lot about that today. Once you start earning money in Torn, you're going to see that there are lots and lots of ways you can spend your money. And I'm hoping in this video I can encourage you to resist those temptations and instead invest your initial money into things that will result in passive income. Investing $2 billion into the bank with maximum merits applied to interest gains is the best investment in all of Torn. You'll notice that I don't have the $2 billion in my account currently, and this is because I had to liquidate some assets to purchase a mining company. At the time of recording, $2 billion invested in the bank with maximum merits applied to interest will yield somewhere between $22 and $24 million per week. This is more than $3 million daily in free money that you can use to do other things in Torn. That $3 million will go a long way towards paying for your daily Xanax, your private island rental, and other essential daily expenses. If you didn't already know how to assign merits, that's done here in the left menu bar by clicking the Use button here. And you're looking for bank interest, which is this one here. You want to have 10 out of 10 merits applied to this as quickly as possible. Until you have a total of $2 billion invested in the bank, my recommendation is that you stay in weekly investments. And only after you have $2 billion, look at these other options, and only after you have the $2 billion to invest would I look at something beyond a week-long investment for the potential additional interest gains associated with these longer investments. Once you have the full $2 billion invested in the bank, my next suggestion is that you start investing in stock benefit blocks. We access the stock market by first going here to the City tab, and then to the Points building, and spending the required number of points on the stock ticker. It's worth pointing out here that if you have the points to open the stock ticker before your bank is full, that this is a worthwhile thing to do. And this is because within the stock market, we can temporarily hold chunks of money in a relatively safe space that's relatively safe from fluctuations in market on short-term investments. Once you have the $2 billion invested in the bank, your goal is going to be to purchase stock benefit blocks, and those are seen by clicking right in here on the right side of the screen. In this particular case, I can buy 1.5 million shares of this company at a cost of roughly $1.8 billion to unlock this benefit. And the benefit is a 10% increase in bank interest. The other thing it will say here is how long it takes for the benefit block to go into effect after you had secured the required number of shares. This particular stock benefit block isn't one I would invest in early on, but it's just one example of many choices that you have in the game of Torn. The tool that I'm going to recommend you use to choose one of these stocks to invest in is something called Stocks 3.0. This tool was developed by a Torn user and is meant to help you decide which of those investments is going to offer the highest rate of return. To say it another way, which investment is going to give you the most money. To find this tool, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the forums, and then we're going to go here to tutorials and guides, and then we're going to click what is probably the top choice on the forum list called guide list, and then we're going to scroll down and look for the stocks section, which includes this spreadsheet right here. And once you click into that post, you're going to see what you're looking for right here. If you'll take a minute to read the instructions here, you'll note that it includes instructions here to add an API key, more specifically a limited API key. And so you're going to need to create that key as part of this process. If you haven't seen me do it before, you're going to go up here to your profile button in the top right corner. You're going to click Settings. And then you're going to click right here, API Keys. And I'm not going to show you the screen because API keys are something like a password. But once you click in here, you're going to create an API key. I recommend that you name it something like Stock 3.0. And then you're going to want to make sure that the choice in the right side is limited. And then once you've created that key, you're going to copy the key it generates, and you're going to use it later in the Google Sheet that I'm. Okay, so this is the Google Sheet. And over here to the right off my screen is the area where you're going to paste that API key. It's very clearly marked with a colored square kind of like this. And then directly beneath that API key is a button that says click. And once you click that button, it's going to run like a macro and pull data from your account so that it can give you updated information regarding your current investments and further advise you on what you need to buy next. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, I had to liquidate some assets to purchase a mining company. And currently the only stock that I own is this one marked in green. So if you have bought all these other stocks up here, welcome back to Torn, and you click the click button, what's going to happen is it's going to populate these with the green shading so you can see what you've already invested in. When it comes to investing in these stock benefit blocks, there's a few things I'm going to recommend you consider before you make your purchase. First, this column here is going to show you the rate of return on your investment, starting with the best option, working its way down to the lesser options. So I'm generally going to recommend that you do the things toward the top of the list and work your way down. The other thing to be mindful of is some of these stock benefit blocks are quite expensive, and this is one great example. The Munster stock benefit block costs nearly $3 billion at the time of recording, and it could take you a very long time to get this one bought so you could continue down the list. So if, as an example, I had everything up here up to this point, and the next one was this one, Munster, what I would be inclined to do is invest temporarily in this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then probably sell all three of these and upgrade to this higher one, and then start to progress further down. You might similarly do the same thing when you reach this investment here. The other thing to be mindful of is how many days it's going to take for each payout. And in the case of this one here, TCT, this one here, grain, and this one, IOU, the payout is every 31 days. Whereas with this one here, and this one here, you're going to get a payout every week. It's also worth mentioning that as this spreadsheet pulls data from Torn, it's going to reorganize these in the best order from most advantageous to least advantageous. All of that said, this stock benefit block, SIM or Symbiotic, has consistently been in the top of the list. This one gives a free drug pack worth roughly $4.3 million at the time of recording, with an investment price of $357 million. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the best possible investment in all of Torn is a bank with maximum interest, and this spreadsheet further supports that by consistently keeping this item here at the top of the list. However, if you had a full bank without any merits, you'd be better off investing in Symbiotic. The final thing I'll mention before we go back over to the stock market is that these are the ticker symbols, in this case SYM for Symbiotic, and then you'll also see a graphic that corresponds to what you see in Torn. So we move back over to the stock market within Torn, and as you can see, that same symbol shown here with the full name Symbiotic, but this stock is commonly known as SYM or SIM. The final point I want to make before we end the video is that this, like anything else in Torn, takes consistent effort and dedication. And it may take several weeks or even several months to get this bank full to $2 billion, but I'm going to tell you it's very worth your effort and time. In very recent months, I had a full bank with $2 billion earning interest in addition to several stock benefit blocks, and at that point in time, I was making well over $40 to $50 million per week. If you have any questions at all regarding this topic, don't hesitate to let me know in the YouTube comments. And as a reminder, the next topic for the next video will be chosen by you, the viewer, through your comments left on this video. Finally, I want to remind folks that we have a new player-friendly Discord, which you can access by clicking this link here on the YouTube homepage for my channel, Torn City Tim. And if you happen to be in a new player-friendly faction or running a Torn business that's also new player-friendly, I'd be interested in talking to you about potential sponsorship opportunities through this channel and that Discord. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.